Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ben with Eretabe Gardens in Georgia, Zone 8. I have a nice one for you today. Today's video is on rooting fig cuttings in seeds germination kits. I got some cuttings and I decided to cut them into certain sizes. And then after cutting them into the size that I wanted, there were some short cuttings left. So instead of throwing the cuttings away, I decided to have fun with them, to root them in seeds germination kits that I have. I said, you know what? I don't want to throw these cuttings away, even though they are small. Most of them are single node. Let me just root them. Let's see what will happen if I root them in seeds germination kits. So I did. So now I'm going to show you what I got. Instead of throwing those cuttings away, I got fig plants. So let me show you. I'm going to root my short fig cuttings in seed starter. Here is my seed starter, and I'm using sawdust and perlite. Sawdust and perlite for drainage and aeration. The sawdust is soilless. I don't have to worry myself about any organism in the soil because this is soilless, and it retains moisture just like cocoa. So that's what I'm using. And look at the short cuttings. Some of them are single node like this one, and some of them are like this one is 3 nodes, 1 2 3, but it's short. And this one is 2 nodes, one node, 1 node, 1 node. This one has another node at the bottom, so that's 2 nodes. This one is 2 or 3 nodes, 1 node, 1 node. So mostly are 1 node, and then we have 2 and 3 nodes, but they're all short cuttings. So they are the ones I'm going to root in this seed starter. Let me remove this here. So let me pick one here, and then I will just press it into that's it right here. And then in order not to forget the name, I have it as a Moro de Caneva. Just put it there. Then let me take another one. This one is Cordedam Blanc. So Cordedam Blanc, and I'll just push it in. You see? And then put the name tag. Cordedam Blanc. put the name tag. So I'm going to do the rest, and then I have about 3 seed starters to fill with all short cuttings, thick cuttings, and then at the end we'll put it on heat mat to help in rooting these cuttings. Now I've put all in the sawdust. The sawdust is moist, so what I'm going to do is just to cover it. Okay. Okay. Make sure that it doesn't pass this line, because that is the limit of the heat. There's no heat outside this line. So each seed planter has 12. So 12 cuttings in here, 12 cuttings in here, 12 cuttings. So there is 6 cuttings in all of different varieties. And the reason why I got these short cuttings was because this year I decided to cut these cuttings into small sizes, because I don't want to keep buying cuttings of the same variety over and over. If you buy 2 this year, then the 2 may not root, and the next thing you want to buy again. So like the ones that there are some that I have 3 cuttings, but I cut them into small sizes. At least if one roots, one of each variety, I won't need to buy cuttings of that variety next year. All I need is just one to root and to grow. That's it. So I have 36 of different varieties, but few of them are of the same varieties. Maybe about 5 of them might have 2 cuttings each. So somewhere like 29 different varieties. Today is 3rd of March. So we'll see how long it will take for it to start rooting. So this heat mat will help the root, and then with this dome here will help the top, so that both of them can work together. While the heat mat is helping the root, the dome is helping the top to produce branches, to produce growth at the top. So we'll come back after a while and see the progress. It's been 5 days since I started rooting these cuttings in these seed starters, and they are on the heat mat 20.75 inches by 10 inches. Now I didn't cover these ones. I covered it just to show you guys what happened, what is happening here. You see, the heat from the heat mat is too high for them. Look at the humidity dome over this one. It's very, very humid in there. Now let me show you my thermostat. 70.1, that is the temperature in this room. Now I'm going to use the end of the thermostat. I'm going to dip it in here and let's see what is the temperature. Look at that. Look at how fast it is going up. $79, before you know it, it will be 80. It's going. 80 degrees already. So, I don't know. It looks like that is way too high for this small container spot that they are in. You know. Okay, let's see. 81. Okay, it's still going up. 82. 82 degrees in there. 82.2. You know, and if you look at the top is getting dry, and I gave them water. I used my spray bottle to water them yesterday night, and it is about around 11 a.m. or after 11 now. But look at that. It's getting dried already. So that heat is too much. Look at 82. The temperature in the room is 71. And it's still going up. 82. You see? Look at that. So, you know, this seed starter is for pepper and tomatoes. And within a week or so, they will take them off the heat mat. But with fig cuttings will stay there for weeks for you to get them off this heat mat. So I'm thinking of putting something under the seed planter to reduce the heat level so as not to cook these cuttings. Look at 82.9. That is too high for this. Now I'm going to remove the cover, and then let's see. This one is 82.9. Let's see, what will this read? 82.9. Look at that. The one that is covered. Oh boy. You see that? It is going to cook this cutting. And that was why I removed the cover. I removed the dome. 92. If I leave it there for so long, it will cook all these cuttings. This was why I stopped using heat mat 4 years ago. it cooked all of my cuttings. So this year, I said, well, let me start using heat mat to help the roots. But this is too much. 93 degrees. So if I want to use the dome over these cuttings, I have to put something under this seed starters to reduce the heat, because that is way too much. 93. Look at this one is, I think, 87 or so. This one is 93 because I covered it. That will cook all these small cuttings real fast. It's been, I think, about 2 hours now since I put the cardboard. I have to put 2. This is 1. That's the second layer. Since I put the cardboard under the seed starter. So look at the room temperature. It's 7. Because my hand was holding the, okay, 71. I think it's going down back. It was 70.7. Okay, 71 degrees. So let's put this back in here and let's see if it's going to get to 80 degrees. Let's see. 80. Okay. Now the last time it was I think 88. So let's see if the cardboard has helped. If not, I might have to find maybe a cloth, because I don't have any towel that I can cut. But I will check around and see. Well, it has reduced, because it was I think 88 or 87 before, but now it's maybe 85. Okay, it's slowing down now, but I will see what I can do to reduce the heat, because I don't want to cook in these cuttings. Look at the top, it's getting dried except for this one that I covered, and look at that, is about to open up. Look at that one there, look at that one there. You see, I don't want the heat to be too much. See, I think I'm going to reduce the number of times I cover it. I cover the top, because I don't want the top to grow too fast, because we still have some weeks to go for the last frost. Okay, it looks like it has stopped at 85. It has reduced a little bit. So I'll keep experimenting to see what I can use to reduce the heat. If you can look through the cover, you will see that the sawdust is drying. So it's time to water them. because you don't want the sawdust to dry completely, because they will be cooked from the heat, coming from the heat mat. So I'm going to show you how I water these cuttings. Okay, I bring them to my kitchen sink. Here is my spray bottle, and then I spray them this way. So what I do when I spray them the first time, I let the water sit a little bit so that it can go through the sawdust. And then I come back and then spray it heavily so that the water can leak out. You know, so that will make the sawdust, every part of the sawdust, wet. So now I'm going to give it a thorough soaking. So that the water can go through the sawdust and then I leave it for a while for the water to go through the holes before putting them back into this bottom container, and then the excess of the water will all remain in this bottom container. So this is how I water the cuttings, you know, give it a thorough. So this will last for about 3 days because of the heat from the bottom and because of the size. You see, it's a small size container, you know, but this is how I water them. Now I want to show you guys how I fertilize these cuttings with liquid fertilizer. Now the mistake people do when your cuttings root, when you're cutting root and then they are growing, you forget that the nutrient in these cuttings that you see here is not much. Why? When these cuttings were cut in winter, most of the nutrients have gone down into the roots and store those sap, those nutrients in the roots till springtime, and then the root will start coming back up. So the nutrients in these cuttings are limited. And even for their size, look at this one here. As small as it is, but look at the growth. So you have to give them liquid fertilizer. That will help them not to die. Because if they don't start having nutrients and they finish using the nutrients in all this in these cuttings, they will die. You start seeing their leaves falling off. You start seeing that their leaves are drooping and then they die off. Why? Because they are no more getting nutrients. The nutrients in the cuttings have been used up. So even though they are not as grown as I want, but now they have roots. So, and sawdust does not have nutrients. There is no nutrient in sawdust. So have to give them soluble fertilizer. So now I'm going to show you guys how I give them soluble fertilizer. Okay, I do the same thing. I bring them to my kitchen sink and water them. But look at something here. Look at the root. See, this sawdust is dry, even from the top to the bottom, but this one is not completely dry, but they're almost out. So some of them, their roots are not showing, but look at some roots here. You see that? There's root. Oh, two roots. There's a little one next to the big one. So some of the roots are not showing, but they have top growth. So because they have top growth, now I'm going to give them soluble fertilizer. Now let me show you the soluble fertilizer that I'm using. It says plant food. This one is from Lowe's. Star Grain, that's Lowe's brand. It's a plant food. But look at the NPK, 24, 8, 16. The 24 is for nitrogen. The 8 is for phosphorus. And the 16 is for potassium. So right now they need more of nitrogen, which is 24. And normally it is 1 tablespoon to 1 gallon. But for these ones, you want to give them with, instead of 1 tablespoon, you give them 1/4 tablespoon to 1 gallon. And then you mix it in the water to give them. This is my bottle spray, and I wrote fertilizer on it. I've been using this container for years now. So I always do that to give them soluble fertilizer, because very soon they will outuse all of the nutrients in these cuttings. They will. So what I do, I spray them first and then allow the fertilizer to sink in. Then before I come back again to do it the second time. You see, because it is sawdust gets it dries faster than soil. It dries faster than soil. So I'm going to let it sink a little bit. You see? So I let the soluble fertilizer sink in a little bit. I know they will not completely get to the bottom, but at least the top the top is drier than the bottom, because that's where it starts from. So I will come back again this time around, give it to them until it runs out of the bottom of this container. Leave it again. And some of the fertilizer even touches the leaves. That's okay, so they can take in the fertilizer even through the leaves. So even the ones that are not showing the roots now, they will also be taking in soluble fertilizer, which will help them, you know. So I'm going to add more until it comes out of the bottom hole. Okay, you see, it's coming out of the bottom. That's what you want. You see that? Look at these roots. Look at that. I'm glad that we are officially in spring now, though we are still waiting for our last frost. But by the time we get to our last frost, most of them, if not all of them, will have roots. And by then they will be ready to go out. So this is how I give them soluble fertilizer so that they don't die. Because if they finish using the nutrients and there is no nutrients for them to feed on, they will die. It's been 1 month and 2 days since I started these cuttings. Look at them. Few are doing better than others, and they have more roots than others. Look at this one here. You can see that the sawdust is dried. It needs water. Sometimes I give them water, sometimes I give them soluble fertilizer. Not powerful soluble fertilizer. And with this light here, so I'm going to remove this one. I think it's time to uproot this one here. So I'm going to take it out and you guys will see the roots. Now I added towel, put it on top of the cardboard because it was still very hot since I don't have any thermostat to control this heat mat. So I doubled it, you know. Now let me show you the root. Look at the root of this is turning brown and the sawdust is dry. So now is the time to remove it and uproot it because this container is so small for the roots. So I'm going to remove it and you guys will see it. Okay, look at it. The sawdust is so dried. I should have spread it a little bit so it can come out whole. But now I'm going to uproot this one. And then you see, look at it, is dried. The heat is still much. So I'm going to uproot this and you guys will see it. It's been 1 month and 1 week since I uprooted this rooted plant. It's in these 3 by 3 by 9 pot. So I'm going to leave it in here maybe for another 2 months so that it will have enough roots before I will uproot it to a larger container. So for now I'm going to leave it here till we're in May. Today is May 13th. Leave it for maybe in July. By then it should have lots of roots. Look at the name, Natalina. I think I got this cutting from Profit USA. And sometimes he uses Profig. Sometimes he uses Profig USA. He's on Figbeat and eBay. He does sell good cuttings, so he's one of the trusted sellers on eBay and Figbeat, so I'm glad that there's results. I had fun using the germinating seed kit to root cutting. So thank you for watching this video. Please like this video, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell, so every time I upload new video, you will be notified. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video, and God bless you real good. Bye.